This is day 967, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If I can sponsor or come share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please call me directly. It would be very greatly appreciated. They were doing Simon, Tafresh Mem Tes Sif Chaf, and going to all the way to Tafresh Mem Aleph. Chaf. Mutaito Etzog Shel Shel Chaver Shel Midaito B'Shar Yomim Hayomish. You're allowed to take the rule of your friend without his permission. The other day, the first day. But she came to Anna Makalkum. He lost us. It's doing it by taking it. A person is okay with you doing mitzvah with his money, his possession. It depends the way you pick it. The way most people pick it up, I shouldn't say people and myself pick it up. I don't think it does that as a rule, but the way certain people, and I think it's more Hasidim shake the lulav, so to make sure that the tip of lulav shakes and that shakes apart. I think that does spoil it, but so it would depend. Later, we asked you shouldn't take for your house to a different place, so basically that's a shul below a shuso without his permission. The leak lo mi base about it lo nichali. Because you kind of simon dalid linear you talis. I enjoy. Take things away from the house. People don't acquiesce to that. Come on, us be able to sheni go let me daito. And but the sheni should only take with his permission. I'm surrounded make him be able to sheni shari. Even though we already saw the Rambam regarding some of the sheni like the other days. You come on in this respect, you should be concerned. In other words, not take without his permission. Can't call mashi kan shari yomim. Kedai be able to sheni sheyesh la'acher rule that's a kosher gomer. So even though for quite a few sleeping past, he said, "Yo, we can pass like the Rambam this, yeah." But he says, no, that should make up by the other days. Even it's preferable. If somebody else has a muda lulav which doesn't face all these issues, and it's a lulav which we kosher on the first day, you should ask to be yotzei with him his lulav. Take it as make a bracha and then give it back. And then you can use your own after I made the bracha. The bracha says, "Zelkom azman b'sof sipei b'angel amon sof stip kadin chav gimel. Kamakol nevertheless can do my shon no gimel legamri l'hakim l'hakim sheni." The Arukh HaShulchan believes the minhag is in fact to be lenient outright on the other sheni. Kushai only like other days. The somchim al das haRambam b'tumis yosef. A lot of those who make on the second day yontif even in chutz la'aretz. Even though it's known that Esrog is designated for its to the entire Yontif, if you make a stipulation, it's permissible. You can stipulate on the Esrog that it should be devoted completely for the first day. And say I'm not consciously not designated for the twilight between the first and second day. But you can immediately after nightfall on the second night, or beyond the second day. The Chol says the mitzvah im hanishar. You can still fulfill the mitzvah with what's left. Came to kosher because on the second day, answer which is missing is still kosher. Kashir, as long as whatever remains is a proper shir by a kabetza. It's very cute. Yeshua says the Ran says no, you need the majority to remain, not just the kabetza. The Rizal has more than 2 kabetza, which I think is rare. Has to have more than a kabetza left. But the Piskei Maharai sounds like even if it's a smaller part is left, as long as it's a kabetza, that suffices. Like Arukh HaShulchan says. We don't know how to make these stipulations, and therefore we don't do them. In Yatzei Sukkah, returns the word of the Sukkah, they shouldn't do this. The person says, for this day, it's supposed to Yom Rishon, the condition doesn't work anyway. Some say that does work, but he's not encouraging our use of the night regardless. The Gemara says, "Lulav yavesh pasul." A dry lulav is pasul. Rabbi Yehuda Mamshir says kosher. Maser Krachim brings down a story that people in the cities, Sheu Marishan Levain Lebneim, they bequeath their lulav to their children. Chachamim said to Rabbi Yehuda, who brought up the Smaisa, Ain't Shas of Chakraya. Difficult circumstances are not evidence. So please, because of Rambam, Peish Bereches, this Rambam writes, the B'shas of Chag in difficult circumstances, the B'shas HaSagona in circumstances of danger, Lulav Yavish Kosher. Kosher, Lulav is a dry Lulav is Kosher, Lulav is Shar, meaning, but not the other species. Again, with the Yavish, if you Niktam Rosho, you know what I'm saying? The dry lulav and lulav which has the head snapped off, club psulim, and all the other psulim yotzim bohem b'shas al-chak. In time of difficulty, one can use them. Now, so the came matzino maaseh rak b'lulav. So one says no, since in the Gemara itself we only find lulav, ein lachshir yosem. You can't be much more that. Although by adasim, the Gemara does say that you could pass on be tarfon that snapped adasim will be kosher. Maybe bring it down. I don't know. Okay, Ramagam maybe dry would not be okay by dasim, even though snap would be okay. Angamulav ein ashirak yavish lo shapsoi. Okay, because that's what he says. Even by lulav, it's only the yavish which works. Not we're talking about it, not other psulim. Chav Gimel. If I arrive at you see the gamels arrive at totally argues this because he says the zeshem ein shas of chakaraya that they said that the shas of chak is not evidence. It doesn't mean you when you take it, you have the obligation, you can make a bracha. I mean, you pick them up symbolically. That's commemoration. So the concept of should not be forgotten. But most of the Rabbanim agree with the Goyim that you can make a bracha on the kosher. When besides the chak, you can't find kosher, absolutely. You tell no, use any puzzle rule up, vein b'vorchim. Don't make a bracha. Came when she'ain bracha ma'keves. Since the bracha is not impediment, we'll feel the mitzvah. Lama lonu levarech. Why should you make a bracha? Av shalach gro poskim. Av shalach gro poskim. You know, halachas are most poskim are mekel. Brachas we should be machmir. Yeah, and Mishnah seems to concur. But things which are not the right species, such as the grafted, the guzzle, and also a case where it's stolen, famous shear, a case where it doesn't have a shear, those are possible even and of course should not be used. The Sharet Tzim, sometimes he says the name Kuri Yaakov, that a stolen lulav specifically is curtailed for parfums on the first day. But the second day afterwards, you can use, since there are post-Kamar Mekel, you can use it to Sametz over there, you can Shas al-Chak, you can lose it according to strict letter of the law, but without a bracha. Chavtal, Rabbeinu Ramah Kasab, Yesh Machshin Lulav Yavesh Afilu Baruch Halav. Some people say you can even make a bracha on dry lulav. V'chein again Baruch Halav Yaveshi. There's a minute to make a bracha on dry lulav. Afilu b'dikar cheim lachi, even there were moist ones available. I'm shaming and the cocaine, but you should not do it with the other species. Yesh can feel about that space. Some say go only with the dry hadas. Yesh machal b'shas of chak. Line them in a time of difficulty. Yakal Hashem. V'atavar tavor. Rosh says the Ramah is difficult. Eichem baruch Yavesh shesh lachim. How can we make a bracha on dry ones when we can get moist ones? Because they're there for those right. They're not lacking murin. We're talking about cases where the moist ones are not that much more moist than the dry ones. Not them as they're almost as dry as each other. Shesh lacking murin, but when they're completely moist ones, you should not make a bracha on the dry ones. So today, where there are many moist loving around, make a bracha on a dry lulav. Only mutter in the extremis. But then the chak, then we don't have that pressure. Kosh came to Alek Hadasi, basically, the still should not make a bracha on dry Hadasi. Achim bal makom if shall asig lachim into which you can't get moist stuff. Kedayim hem agoyim Rabbeinu Ramah, then the goyim and the Ramah are sufficient to work to make a bracha. Al esr yavish by dry yesu b'chol yam pasul no matter what. Kosher ravas yibeshim. And certainly dry ravas shebekah nakulim tel lachim because it's easy to find moist ravas. See the next sip. But first we see the Mishnah Berurah here. So Achronim are asking Shas of Chakim line the post code that all the arba minim when they're dry you can make a bracha on them. So more mekel says. I think Baruch Hashem on the bottom line also would be mekel than that. It's only be makel because we can find moist. So I don't think there's a machlokes in the Mishnah Berurah Arukh HaShulchan. Chafei v'dai, I forgot the Esrog Chasser Kasher b'Shayom. Esrog which is missing a piece is permitted the other days. It works the other days. Zelk Shechazim and Ktsas. As you chopped off a bit. The Rub Okaim, most of it is still intact. Amalei Nachlok Esrog l'Shnayim or l'Shlosh Chalakim. It's a cute idea. So you can't cut Esrog into 2 or 3 pieces. L'Chalakon distributed. Let's say well, and we also with it. I feel Shas L'Chak. Even the time of pressure. I feel Yesh Kashir Beitza. Even though each slice has the size of Kebetza. Dain's Esrog Chasser. It's not an Esrog Chasser. El Chaticha Me'esrog. It's not an Esrog Chasser. It's a piece of an Esrog. That's a nice luminous. The Chasser Mikrei. Chasser is Kekar when the primary part is extant. The Chasser Menamadlo is missing from it. Chayin Yesh Loros. That's where we should pass it. And to finish off the simon, we have here brackets. Now, which you wrote that, most all these issues from a bracha. To add a bracha, you take with anything which is possible. It requires great analysis. You talk about also things which are not the wrong species. Where did it come from? It seems to be more reasonable with the Kavanah. It says not just a rule of Yavesh or a Das Yavesh, but also a Esrog which is dry and a Rav which is like that's a goy. They're going to say low not everything else. But also and the meaning is that even the arguments it means to say even the arguments of Beisayim, possibly only pass the Rav Lula Bahadas, then it's okay. Kol come below bracha moedel. We're not going to make a bracha if the other meaning can be dry as well. Taf reish nun. Kama shiurin shel lulav. Das varava. What do the required measurements? Al metidas arach lulav, the measure of the length of lulav. Ain't no dumb metidas arach shel das varava. It's not measuring the length of das varava. The man by the name of Sofa Eitz Normal. Then you can measure from the top of the twig. From the end of the twig, the bottom, ad lamala, to the top. No, that's right. From the top of the tree, which is the end, upwards towards the tree. So here, upwards is what we call downwards. Okay, because the sof is the end of the twig, measuring upwards. But the lulav is not like that. We measure from the tip of the lulav, but not to the end of the lulav the other side. Allowed sofa shedra. You have to have shear to the end of the spine. The place where the leaves are connected to the spine. Oh, you know what? I was right the first time. Yeah, never mind. Let's go back to it again. Okay, so you measure from the end of the twig, which is the bottom of the twig, to the top. But you're only measuring the spine. You're measuring from the bottom of the spine to the top of the spine. To the place where the leaves connect to the spine. And the leaves come out after the termination of the spine, which don't have a spine, and but they're not included in the reckoning. Why do we measure from the end of the lulav, where it's just the spine and no leaves? It's not astonishing. Came in the Rov Ark and Yesh Al since over the course of the majority of the lulav, there are leaves. That's enough. There don't be more. I'm talking about eight I'm talking about eights of oats, Radas. I read Ikara eights. So the eights, yes, it's different because the 8 says 8, so therefore we have to measure the entire twig. Kapos, tamarim, I guess doesn't require, even though kapos sounds like we're talking about the where they're leaves, but he's saying no. It's not the same thing as eights. We have to measure the entire thing. This is or it seems Arukh HaShulchan's own drasha. Many times in the aim of the blue mina schedule malo. So they only measure it for. So he says no. It's the same thing. Kapos Marim does not change it, but rather it's only in eighths. So it's going to be eighths from the bottom of the lulav until you get to the top of the shedra. After that, it's foliage. Leaves not coming in. Leaves above the spine are foliage. They're not part of the wood, so to speak, of the lulav. If the leaf is extended above the wood, measure is only to the end of the twig. Below Balin it's not in the leaves, it should go on top of the twig. Base. Kazaram Perexine Yuches. Kamashir Oracle Min Mayhem. What is the shear? Luv and Polis Arbet Vachim. Luv can't be listed for Vachim. He does some Shed Rosa Bilbai. And you only measure the spine. Below Mirosh Shalim and not from the tops of the leaf. But that's what I'm Polis Mishon. That's what can't be less than Kitvach. I can't show. And Kasavarif. For the same thing. If he's Oracle Tesla Goldim, it's 16 thumbs. But that's what he based with him 12 thumbs. Yeah, that's one of the more complicated sugyas supposed to the Bavli Yerushalmi. Because it says there that you measure, now with our normal arm of 6 tefachim, an arm of 5 tefachim. That's okay, which means you take the armor of, the armor of, in other words, 3, it's not the 4 tefachim lulav are 4/6 of an armor of 5 tefachim, and well, let's see. It's very complicated. Okay, it says Nimsafis lulav tzarich yud gimel gedolim b'shlish. Lulav has to be 13 and a third thumbs because it's taking an armor of 5 tefachim, which is approximately 20 thumbs, and you're making that. You're taking 3 of those tefachim, which is 60% of 20, and 60% of 20 is, I'm guessing, 13 and a third. That's what he says here. That's Rabbi Asar Gedolim, and that's Rabbi 3 10 thumbs as opposed to 12 thumbs. So that's a rush. About 2 of our rival. It's primary halacha. Shmuel says no. It's b'diavad. It should be the full share of 16 and 12. But b'diavad, 13 and a third and 10 are enough. Rakdasar and Banza, Ramon Zabi, that's what I call if you cheshbon. It's only, you only require 10 thumbs. But we can't miss it. Should Shlosha Tfachim Limidosan and Yukuk Goylim. That would get 10 thumbs. Come, but that was the Tefach Lulav, Ola Lalain, it's different. Tefach Alma, it's the regular Tefach. Arba Golim, Bizahavi Lulav, Yuda Golim Ad HaShedra. The Lulav is supposed to be 14. Why is it only 14? Well, it's 14. Because the tefach, which is the first 3 tefachim, are the same as the tefachim of Hadassah and Rabbos, which means they're 3 and a third tefachim. So therefore, the first 3 tefachim are 3 and a third, 10 altogether. The last tefach, which is distinct from the other minim, that has to be a regular tefach of 4 tefachim. 4 expos, I'm sorry. I said tefachim, talking about expos here. 4 expos, so therefore it becomes 14 expos. Okay? So if he's a lulav, have a lulav, you call him Manashem. Kimaldina Bari Michos Rambam Mato. If you can be Mahara agree with the Rambam, we learn Kipshuto that it has to be 16 and 12. That's great. That 13 and a third and 10 are enough. But I should email das wherever Gudolim are big. The das are very big, very long. We come to Gavor, man. Shedra Shul Tefach, the rule of the spine has to be a Tefach above them. Penshir Godlam Afil Arukim Arbeg Shem. The other end, there's no shear for the length there. It's they're very long, it is okay. Taf Reish Nun Aleph. Aleph. Definitely not sharp. Tell us Arba meaning Ketzah B'Chasun. How do we take them and how do we make the brachos? Av mitzvah Arba Saminian Arba meaning the mitzvah form. Mitsubishi Shito Kol Echad Lulav Kol Echad Lulav Echad Echad take one lulav one esrog Shlosh Adasim 3 Adasim Shnei Rovas and 2 Rovas. The Priyetzador Matorah. Priyetzador is referring to esrog Perachas one fruit. Kapos Kamarim Kafaski Chasevav. Even though kapos is plural, it says kapas. The mashma achas, which sounds like it's one kaf. Anaf eitz avos shlosha. How so? Anaf chad, eitz chad, avos chad. Each of those represent a different adas. Arbe nachal mashma shleim. Arbe is plural, 2. Chiluk sif anfe eitz avos. That's why it doesn't say branches of eitz avos. We should have a mashma shtayim that would indicate 2. Arbe nachal. So I have a nachal on a beina shlosha. We need 3. We got Pashta the Krah, Shemina Shlosha Dasim. Similar meaning the pasuk also indicates 3 Dasim. Div Shalomar Echai, can't see one. Arei Ein Zeh enough. That would not be but that would not be an enough. Not sure. Why not? The dialect of Eitz Avos, come on, Eitz Hador. It would be enough to write Eitz Avos. B'Yashai Mashraim couldn't say 2. But I Michtav Atseavos. Because if it was 2, it should say Atseavos. Vayakmo Arvenacha. So Arvenacha was 2. El the Avos Choser El Hanaf. So where Avos goes back to the twig, Shlosha Novin and the 3 are nothing. So I mean Shlosha Badim Shal Hadas, 3 twigs of Hadas, and that's what I'm being Chayim. It said the anaf. This is like a fringe. Okay, now I got it. Anaf eitz avos. Anaf is a fringe. Fringe is you kind of one string. Make a fringe. Fringe has to have several strings. We're saying it has to have 3 strings, right? So that's it says the arei is anaf, not a branch. It's not a fringe. The anaf is fringe. Okay, so therefore, once it said fringe, it doesn't say plural, right? Atseavos, it says Arnaf Eitzavos, so it can't be 2. It must be 3, right? Because that's a minimum shear to be a fringe. Says the bracket here. By the way, Kiva Shema Adas Rav Achas really Dalaminkai. Kiva says one Adas, one Rav holds that the Arbe Nachal and Arbe Eitzavos are according to the species. Anakai Kamak Rabbi Shmuel Tzvech Lamark Moshtad. When we hold Rabbi Shmuel, they need 3, 2. It's like we read, like we saw. Ramban posek Rabbi Kiva, Rambam posek Rabbi Kiva, Rambam posek Rabbi Shmuel. V'chein das agonik mosh kosav magamish the past Rabbi Shmuel. V'chein posku tur of Arukh HaShulchan Aruch. V'chein that's the pesach which is prevail. V'lai in ein lo rak adas echad v'arav achas. Maybe you only have one adas, one arav. Nevertheless, he claimed we should take them. V'shas chad nismok al Ramban. If it's a difficult situation, we rely on the Ramban. The guy Ravon Ravia Pasku Karamban. Ravia is my favorite rishon. Not the Ravia, sorry. Not the Ravon. Ravon is my favorite rishon. I don't know what say. Like what you said. Pasku Karamban Mordechai, Bilim Bracha, but you stay without a bracha, can you really use that?